Welcome, my dear friends, to this fifth episode of Wild Wild Slide series, Lounge Section. And tonight, I'm really excited and happy and honored to invite a very special person who is an immensely powerful spiritual catalyst, doing immense work in this field of spreading awareness, consciousness, and not only just spreading, but telling how exactly to do that in so many of her blogs, videos, through her website, through her YouTube channel. And I have been personally very fortunate to be connected with this person since long time, maybe 10 years now. And her name is Ellaeenah Niloufer from Mumbai, India. The immensity of the work she has been doing up till now is so huge. It's like I can't imagine that she can single-handedly do all this. She is just at it continuously 24/7, as if this is the mission of her life, and must be. And I have been also immensely benefited from her workshops, which I had attended some 10 years ago, and the insights, the healings, the openings that I experienced in those workshops still reverberates, vibrates in me, not only as an intellectual understanding, but as a real energetic understanding of whatever we went through in those highly intense workshops of her. So without wasting much time now, I would simply invite her. Request L. Hello.
Hello, lovely to be here.
Lovely, and my pleasure, my honor to invite you and have you as my
Thank you.
guest, because there are no
Thank you.
words. Let me
Really, thank
just
you.
complete this note of gratitude first before we start. That how much I look up to you, people like you, not only the who you are and what the work you are doing, but personally, how I connect with you all, people like you, who are doing such immense work on consciousness and the raising of vibrations all around. Because I have been personally so much benefited from your interaction with you, listening to your discourses, the videos, the channelings, all that has so much absorbed into my subconsciousness and psyche that probably this is the reason why we both are here talking about all this. So thank you so much, Elle, for helping me in so many ways. Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me here. And thank you for the beautiful music that you create.
Thank you so much.
And you know, when
Uh,
you talk of the work that people like I do to raise consciousness, please do not undermine the role that sound and music plays in that, in just sitting and listening to music, very much like the music that you create, other kinds of music. It raises its consciousness without us having to do anything really.
yes, I take your word for it. And so let's start from the beginning, how it all started for you, because this is I'm also very curious about it. Maybe I've heard some things in your workshops and when we were talking in conversations. But so how did this happen to you? Like how Niloufer transformed into Ellaeenah, let's say. How was that process? I mean, spiritually speaking,
Yeah.
what exactly happened? What exactly is transformation also? Because we casually use this word so many times, but it has immense implications.
Yeah.
and because it's like jumping to dimensions altogether, like
Yeah.
a jump in dimension. So please explain your story. How would you sum it up?
So it started over 25 years ago,
Uh-huh.
much over 25 years ago. Um, and At that time, I was very much Niloufer. And
Mhm.
Niloufer was arrogant and egoistic and extremely intelligent, but very often that intellect played itself out against me, as I realized much later. Um, Very intolerant and really a very angry person from childhood. And no real reason for any of this as it played itself out with my loving family, my parents, my sister, and then my husband, and then my children. But that rage and that tolerance, and um, which I then realized was actually a cover up for inner pain. And the ego and the arrogance was also a cover up for that inner pain. But that's who I was, and in complete denial of that pain. And then, as life does to all of us, um, coincidentally, I was introduced to this beautiful spiritual teacher, Meru, and my life changed. Genuinely, from that minute, my life changed. And she and her masters, not really she, but her masters, who she would auto-write with, informed me at the very first meeting that she ever met me that I have been a spiritual worker of standing for many, many lifetimes, and that my current life mission was also that, but that I was completely closed from all of that. And I didn't understand any of what she was saying at that time. And it took me several weeks and months and even years to get in touch with that inner God self. And it took years of stripping myself of my ego and my arrogance and my intolerance and the anger and understanding where all that was coming from. And one day, I guess, when the masters realized or decided that I had done enough work with Meru on that, they asked me to go out and start on my work on my own. And I have to tell you, I was extremely fearful, um, wondering how and what would I do and who would ever come to me and what did I really have to offer this world. But as Mary would always keep telling me, she says, all the time you question how and why and what and when, you just can't accept the master's words. So this time I said, let me just try and accept their words and believe that I'm actually ready. And I obviously was, because I never had to, there was not even a moment where I had to work in order for people to come to me. It was like the master said, you're ready. And I had no idea to date from how did they hear of me and how did they come. And then public meetings took place where so many would come every week. And I, I, I just couldn't understand. And I was not on internet at that time or social media or anything. I don't even know how they heard of me and how they came. But my very first meeting, which I thought would be about 8, 9 people, and I entered that large hall and it was completely packed.
Where was it, in Pune?
It was in Bombay.
Oh my.
And it just, and everything that I have learned along the way has been guided and directed by my cosmic overlord Jadefire, who is the Lord Sananda. I call him, in love, I call him Jadefire. That's my name for him. And I am what is known as an energy intuit, so there's nothing that I've really learned. The two things that I have learned would be bark flower therapy and Ho'oponopono, because I'm a certified Ho'oponopono practitioner and I am a bark flower therapist. But everything else that I do, including my esoteric uh, astrology, where I create the soul chart, soul blueprint reports, everything that I do, my cards, which I have channeled,
Oh.
is as entirely been inspired and led and directed by Jadefire. And it has literally been an evolution for me as well. Um, I started off as an auto writer, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't do that anymore. It was
Mm-hmm.
just a stepping stone because Meru was an auto writer. So that
Mm-hmm.
was um, I think, my most natural stepping stone, and I just don't do that anymore. I'm a trance channel, but I'm so much more than a trance channel. And
Mm-hmm.
it has just been a joy, and I think my propensity to say, but why, has decreased a little bit, and I now go with the flow. Yeah,
Go with the flow, and now hows are coming through you, because now you are teaching how to do it. It's not just do it,
yeah,
meditate, or you transform or blah blah blah, but you are saying
yeah,
no, 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 do first step this, second, third, fourth,
yes.
fifth, and this
Because
is
that
how
is
it
very
can.
important to me. You
Yeah.
see, um, people are looking for that how. It's not that they don't
Mm,
want to change. It's not
mm,
that they are resisting change. They do want to change. They do want to make a difference in their lives. They want to make a difference in people's lives. They just don't
mm,
know how. And I have truly been blessed, and I'm humbled by that blessing that Jade Fire has been with me every step of the way, telling me how. Every
mm,
time I've been stuck, every time I've gone completely against the grain, I have been very gently and lovingly pulled back and guided as to how. And for me, that is so important. I mean, what is the purpose of telling people huge esoteric truths
mm,
if they don't know how to apply it in their
mm,
lives? And,
definitely.
for me, spirituality is what can I do to be the best version of me? For me, that is the be all and end all of spirituality. It's not whether you can channel, it's not whether you can heal, it's not whether you can create art and music. All of those for me are byproducts. It's how can I be the best version of me in every moment. But if I don't really know, if I am struggling both within and outside, and I know what struggle is. I know how I have faced my inner struggles. I know what those years have been. And, I look at people and say, but for the grace of God, there go I.
Mm,
And what I received as blessings is what I want to impart as blessings. And that for me is how we all unite, because what I give to you, you give to someone else. You add
definitely.
your essence and
Yes.
you give it to someone else, and they add their essence and give it to someone else. And that is how I reach out to millions, even though I'm not reaching out to millions directly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my journey. And how
Beautiful.
did Niloufer become Ellaeenah? Well, many years down the line, um, someone said there was this I forget her name. I'm really sorry because she was a beautiful teacher. And someone asked me to attend a workshop that she was conducting. I think she was Brazilian and she had come to Bombay very briefly. And she was conducting an angels workshop. And I just decided to go because it wasn't something new to me, but just there was an inner thing of, I think I'd like to go for this. And after taking us through exercises and explaining, um, she asked us to do an exercise where we would connect and write with our angel. And I started writing, and that angel and the word that kept coming to me as my name was Ellaeenah. And I like, hello,
Mm.
what's going on? I don't know who you're talking to. Have we got the wires crossed somewhere? Because I'm Niloufer, I'm not Ellaeenah. And it would keep coming, and I just put down my pen because I said, I don't know who this person is and who this angel is connecting with, but not with me. And she must have seen that struggle, silent struggle that I was going through. And very soon after that, we broke for lunch. And she kind of gently pulled me aside and said, what happened? And I told her. And, this is the first time I realized that there was something like muscle testing. I didn't know about that.
Oh.
And she asked me to come back into the room where we were holding that workshop. And she said, I'm going to say this name. And, she put my hand out and she said, I'm going to push it. And I want you
Mm.
to try and really resist and not allow me to push it
Mm.
down. And I'm going to do the same with Niloufer. And every time she'd say Niloufer, try as I might, my hand would not, and my hand would go down with
Mm.
a bang. With Ellaeenah, it was strong as a rock, and she was
Mm.
pushing it down, but the hand wouldn't move. And she
Mm.
explained to me that this is what muscle testing is. And she said, your energy alignment with your old name, the name your parents gave you at birth, is over.
Mm.
And this is, you are aligning with this name that the angels have
Mm.
given you today. And she said, I advise you to use
Use this
this
name.
name more.
Mm.
You know me. Once something resonates with me, I don't procrastinate.
Mm.
So I came home and that night sent out an email to every single person I knew, family, friend, spiritual, student, teacher, everyone, to say that from today onwards I am Ellaeenah.
Mm.
And it was so amazing that my family, my children, my husband, my friends,
Mm.
everyone just took to the name without any hesitation. And I
Mm.
overnight from Niloufer became L.
Mm.
And uh,
Amazing.
and really that name,
Mm.
as soon as I took on that name, it was as though the spiritual doors burst open.
Mm.
And my energies just grew. And for the first time, I realized, my God, there's so much energy in a name.
You are
And
true.
yeah, such a lot of energy
Big,
in
big,
just a name.
because same. I mean, in different context, my parental name was also different, and but when I took sannyas with Osho and these things, I was given another name, which I thought, oh, this name, Amano Manish.
Yeah,
Man, I was happy with Vivek something and all that. But but then I thought, no, if this name is coming for some
yeah,
reason, I must accept it.
yeah,
And once I accepted it, and I am so used to now being called Amano Manish that I cannot go back to
yeah,
that name again. And with that acceptance, again the doors open for me.
absolutely.
Similarly, maybe in a
Yeah,
different degree, but similarly, and the music flew in this direction, that and
yes,
this and that, and things led to another.
yeah,
Same, I can really understand
yeah,
that. I can really understand that,
yeah.
yes. So, what exactly happens in transformation? I come back to this thing because I want to really make it clear for myself and others that what exactly is this transformation? Like it, I can like say typically, let's it's alchemical and it's this and that, but what exactly it is? Like, if
For me, and what I believe, it is a transformation of your beliefs. It is a change in the way you think. It is a change in the way you perceive yourself first, and by extension, the way you perceive others then. And I realized that my beliefs and my thoughts that emanated from my own inner pain um, were based in fear.
Mhm.
And because they were based in fear, there was this whole need for me to control my environment. And I was quite a control freak for many, many, many years. I've really had to work on that aspect of myself to say, you're safe.
Mhm.
Even if you cannot control every part of your environment, you're still safe because you are the one keeping yourself safe, not your environment. Your environment doesn't keep you safe. And
Mhm.
so transformation was the movement from that fear and that pain to an acceptance of who I was first, an acceptance with all my flaws, and I still have a lot of them, an acceptance of my ego, an acceptance of my spirit, my inner spirit, and then moving to not only just an acceptance but genuine loving. And even now there are times when I move into a state of impatience or anger, or I'm short with someone, I love myself through that, to say, hey, you're okay, you don't need to be impatient. Where did that come from? What happened? Why are you feeling insecure? Come on, we are together. It's me talking to me, embracing me, loving me through those moments as well. And because I'm able to do that, I'm able to do that with everyone. And people have been telling me, El, we want you to start your personal sessions again, not over WhatsApp video and Skype, which I have done because of COVID. And I said, what is the big deal? We're still having, no, the sessions are perfect. We miss your hug.
True, that's true.
There was a time I would never hug everyone.
Mm.
For me, it was, let's keep distance between us and let's shake hands.
Mm.
And now, whether you're a stranger, you're a man, you're a woman, you're old, you're young, you don't go out of my house without receiving a hug. And it's so
Mm.
joyful for me to hear that what they are missing is the hug, because it
Mm.
shows how much I have moved. I have moved from pushing away love to not only being that, but being that for so many who need it as well. And for me, that's the transformation. And I think that's the transformation for everyone, Amano Manish. It's the transformation of belief and thought.
So
It's the,
sorry.
it's the transformation of from that inner struggle to first an inner acceptance of that struggle. Because unless you accept that there is a struggle within you, you can't change that struggle. You can't resolve that struggle. So an inner acceptance of the struggle and then moving into the resolution and full transformation. And there's never full transformation.
Mm.
There's a
Because it's a process, it's continuous
it's a
process,
process.
endless process. Yeah.
The moment you say, I've reached,
Oh,
you
yeah, of
failed.
course. Yes, true. Even enlightened ones are on their own journey, and it's
Exactly.
endless and endless because there are layers and layers, cosmic
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
collective cosmic, and
Yeah.
so much. So,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like the cosmos is expanding, everything is expanding with
Yes.
it, and that's why it's endless. So, what changes in a change and what changes in a transformation? Is it different things? How
Uh,
different and dimensionally?
the change is when it is just a mere change, it's more on the outside. I
Mhm.
will change the way I talk. I will change my tone. I will change my words. But for transformation, that inside has to change.
Mhm.
I keep telling people that when you learn about spirituality and you learn about oneness and you learn about unconditional love, and all the rest of it that we learn about, there is a tendency for many, many where they start talking the spiritual lingo
Hmm. Very true.
and their words change, but their insight hasn't changed.
Hmm.
They'll talk about acceptance, they'll talk about blessing people, they'll, but deep within there is the suspicion is still there, the distrust is still there, the dishonesty is still there, and they don't want to look at that. They want to deny that because they want to so strongly believe I have changed. You
Be-
have changed. This
be-
outside has changed, but transformation is inside.
Transformation requires inner work, like Guruji has said. It's inner work, and people generally don't want work as such. They want ready-made answers given on
Yeah.
platters, and they're ready to be served truths, and then they will happily feast on them.
And so when people do inner child work with me, the first question everyone will ask is how long will it take? And
Same,
I always
like people.
answer them, when I finish the work on myself after all those years, then I'll tell you how long it takes.
Same. And when people come to me for music, they say, how long does it take to play like you? Maybe 30 days is enough, 20
Yeah.
days is enough, 15 days. How long is the process? I also say, my dear, I have also not reached anywhere. We
Yeah.
are just enjoying the process because I just read a quote today about from Denzel Washington,
Mm.
and he said, "We are addicted. We are destination addicts.
Mm.
We are addicted to go somewhere, to go
Yes.
to the next place, to the
Yes.
next people, next person, next relationship, next job, next this, next that." And the way we scroll on the orange screen is also next,
Exactly.
as if everything
Exactly.
is next and nothing is
Yes.
right
Now.
now.
Yes.
So we are destination addict, and
I think
this
that's a lovely,
suddenly,
lovely phrase. I'm
yeah,
going to
suddenly.
borrow that. I'm going to use that.
I will
Yeah.
share. I'll give it to you on WhatsApp. Just few minutes ago, I just happened to note that. So it's, yeah, really interesting. But I'm just also trying to figure it out some other ways because, like you said, people want to change, but they don't want to, seemingly don't want to work on themselves and like look at their hidden skeletons on their in their closets and find, maybe because the what is there inside them is probably not comfortable, and they don't want to do all the dirty work for
But it's
themselves.
it's it's not about that. I don't think the dirty work scares them. I think sometimes we are threatened by our own inner pain. Sometimes we're
Hmm.
threatened by our own inner thoughts. And
Hmm.
from childhood, society and families and schools and religious priests
Hmm.
and teachers have conditioned us to believe if you think in this way, you are bad.
Hmm.
And if you say this, you are bad. If you do this, there's such a burden of you are bad that we carry that we don't want people to see that I am bad because
Hmm.
I'm so scared that people will see I'm bad. So then I just put on these masks. I want people
Hmm.
to think I am spiritual, I am good, not because they are hypocrites,
Hmm.
but because that inner burden is so threatening that, oh my God, what if I actually go in and become aware that I'm this horrible human being?
Hmm.
And none of us are horrible human beings. We are just beings in pain. And this pain makes us sometimes be dishonest and sometimes be control freaks and sometimes be violent
Mm.
But everyone is just a person in pain. Even that criminal is a person in
Definitely.
pain, you know.
Definitely.
We
Definitely.
all just want the same things, Amano. We want the same things. We want love. We want
Definitely.
acceptance. We want acknowledgement. We want a little bit of validation. We want an embrace. We all want the same things, genuinely.
Definitely. And the process involves touching the raw nerve. And that shiver said, "Oh my God, this is electrifying, and this is so painful. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there." So they, yes, we are back.
Yeah.
So people necessarily don't resist in that sense, like you said, but they're afraid to face that
Yes.
raw nerve that
Yes.
might ignite or trigger so many series of then pain associated with them. So they want to just somehow
And then
shove
also
it
the
off.
second threat is if I
Uh-huh.
change so much,
Uh-huh.
what will happen to my relationships that were based
Oh.
on the old?
Hmm.
Am I going to lose those relationships when people
Hmm.
start talking ill of me? You know, these are
Hmm.
genuine concerns.
Yes,
Genuinely, everyone wants to change. And you
definitely.
know, COVID in that sense has been a blessing for the world. It has prohibited us. It had prohibited us from going out for several months. We were at home. Um, there was no way we could distract ourselves with other things, and everyone turned inwards.
Hmm.
And the energy of 2020 brought about all the inner demons because we were not distracting ourselves with other things. Those inner demons started coming out. And when those inner demons came out, there was no way you could bottle them up again.
Hmm.
And for me, 2020 has been a fabulous year for the world, even though, yes, it has caused so much trouble and, you know, disruption in
I
so many lives. But on the larger scale, it has been a year which has been marvelous.
totally agree with this, totally resonate with this. Just last Sunday, my friend, musician friend, was saying it's not Corona, it's Karuna.
Ah, lovely.
It's Karuna, it's
Lovely.
compassion from the masters or
Yes.
from whoever.
Yeah.
It's a it's a compassionate hit.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
compassionate hit to me, humanity. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, wake up!
Yeah.
How
It's a
long
bit
you
of
would
tough
sleep?
love that we needed.
Yeah, yes, yeah, true. So another, we can now come to the music, like you said, music, how music affects. Okay, before that, let's say I wanted to ask, like your way of saying hows about meditations and everything is one way. There are thousands and thousands of ways, like to approach this thing through energy. Then people do energy work through
Yeah.
body. Then they do body work, which includes yoga, tantra, massage,
Yeah.
this and that. Then they do mental healing, like or
Yeah.
psychological healing, or
Yeah.
this and that. Another way of going into. Then there are matters of heart, how to open your heart, and work on heart center, and whether this is blocked or not blocked, and this and that. So there's so many ways to work around it. And then there are people who and masters who use active methods like cathartic and
Yeah.
jumping around and
Yeah.
dancing and so much throwing energy, and then after that, then you simply go silent within yourself. So, what do you say about all these different methods and where your method stands out, and what exactly is the relevance or context of your method in all these, and what other methods bring us to into?
You know, we are millions of people in this world, and we are all different. In
Mhm,
fact, we are all the same, but we are all different.
mhm,
Um, and because we are all different, we need different languages. uh, the athlete needs to run as his meditation. The dancer is entranced and gets into her own world as she whirls and dances.
Mm,
Every one of us has a different language. Just as we have a different language of love, we have a different language to reach our God self.
mm,
And that is why it is very important for us to accept and be joyful that there are so many people doing so many different things. Every
mm,
time I hear about someone doing something new, I'm like, wow, here's
mm,
something new.
mm,
My way, I think my way is because it has come from my own process. And my process of shift and change and transformation has been through an understanding of who am I and what is my pain and where does my pain come from and how do I resolve the pain and why does the pain continue to come up in spite of resolution? Where does it come from? What do I still have? So basically, it's the inner child. And
mm,
so a lot of my work is based upon the inner child. My meditations are based upon the inner child. If you go through my
mm.
YouTube channel, which has so many subscribers to them, and for those who are interested, it's Ellaeenah Jadefire. The YouTube channel has meditations given there so that people can heal themselves.
Mm.
For me, it is very, very important that when a person begins to come to me, my journey with them must be directed in such a way that they stop coming to me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Because if they continue to come to me, somewhere I'm going wrong.
Yes,
I
yes,
am not
yes.
empowering them, I am allowing them to make
To
me their
depend on you.
crutch.
Yes, true.
And I don't want anyone to depend on me. I don't want anyone to, I am there in
Mm,
strength. You can reach me 5 years down the line, which they do. I'm constantly there, but I am not there to take you to every step. I am there to give you the guidance and to say, go on, now do it yourself. And that is
mm,
why that YouTube channel, these are all my channeled meditations.
mm,
And it helps people to help themselves. First of all, I don't believe that any one of us can heal anyone else. I
mm,
think we are all facilitators. I do not like this word healers because it makes you believe that the power of your health lies in my hands. How can it lie in
mm,
my hands? It lies in
mm,
your hands. Yes, I can
mm,
suggest, I can recommend, I can talk
mm.
with you, I can share what I know, but the power of healing lies with you. So my work is
Facilitate the
about that,
space
to
and
give
hold the space
you the
for you.
power. Yes,
Mm,
because that's
mm,
how I worked on myself. I took the reins of my happiness away from everyone else to
mm,
say that I have the most loving father and mother, lovely sister, the most beautiful husband. But excuse me, I am not burdening you with my happiness. I'm taking it all back. My happiness is my responsibility. But if I am in inner pain, it can't be my responsibility. Then I'm burdening you. And then I'm
mm,
blaming you for my disappointment. So
mm.
my work is about that, to make people understand that their husbands, their wives, their children, their money, their career, their nothing is the problem. The problem is inside. Let's look at that inside without any threat. I am there. I'm supporting you. Nothing's going to happen to you. You are safe because I know how I went through that fear syndrome. You are safe. There's no need to be anxious. Let's proceed. So it's about self healing. It's about self empowerment. My work.
Definitely. Like if it's a circle and there's a center in it, and there can be infinite ways of reaching to the center from the
Exactly,
circumference,
exactly.
and the radius is same. So all ways are same in the, I mean,
Absolutely the same.
same.
Absolutely the same. There is this lovely person who came to me once with her husband's soul blueprint.
Hmm.
And she said, Elle, I'm really concerned about him, that he was never going to evolve spiritually. He's so, his whole focus is only on buying cars and homes and land and making more and more and more and more money. And I'm really concerned about him. So I looked at it and I started laughing. And she said, what happened? And I said, his spiritual evolution is through this process.
Yes.
The more money he has, the more property he has, the more cars he has, the more chance he has to move away from greed to sharing that with others,
Mm,
including animals.
mm,
So, it
beautiful.
was such a lovely thing to see that, everyone has their own path of ascension, including
Yes.
moving through the path of, yes, collecting more and more properties, because you do so much with those properties and with that money.
Same with masters. Like, so many different masters are constantly depicting this only, that okay, some master is coming from this direction and portraying this kind of mastery of sorts, somebody from that, and we, it's not like, and we tend to but say, okay, if the a holy person should be like this,
Yes.
saints should be like this, the spiritual, if you are spiritual, you should be like this or not should be like this. But of course there are n
And
number of
people
ways.
don't want to make allowances that all their spiritual teachers are human beings
Yes,
and that
first they
they
are
are
human beings.
also, yeah, they're on their ascension process, and
Yes.
sometimes they are going to make mistakes and sometimes they're going to mess up and they have their flaws. And why are you judging? Oh, how can this person be a spiritual teacher if that person is also doing this? And my question is, but why not? Why not?
Yes, why
The
not? And
two
on a,
coexist.
yes, and on a lighter note, I was going to ask you now that, like, when we see your videos and podcasts and Instagram reels and everything, and you appear so wise and full of wisdom, showering like this, are you all the time like this when you are
No,
with your,
no,
or you
no.
can be
I'm a
silly
mad
also?
Barbie. I'm a mad Barbie. I love travel. I'm a foodie. I love food. I love food. I love cooking. Um, I love going out with my friends. I love spending a Sunday evening with just my husband and my two children and my two dogs.
Beautiful.
It's no, and sometimes people tell me, when I was a teacher, and I was a teacher for 32 years teaching high school students, and very often, and my kids were like my friends, and they would tell me, Miss, you're totally cracked. I said, yes, I'm totally cracked. So yes, I have my wisdom, but I have my Barbie
Silly
side.
moments too. So, so now post a reel of the silly real L also. I would like to see that.
I think I will do that. I will do that.
So that this things is also broken. This image is also gone.
Yeah.
So now we can come to music and how music really affects the meditation. Does it really affect? And if yes, how it affects? What kind of music affects best, suits best? So please say in your words, what is your.
So I truly believe that um, meditation is strengthened by music. It's not that it has to have music, but I truly believe meditation goes to a completely different level when there is music with it. It depends on what your meditation is. For
Hmm.
example, if it's a meditation to do with the solar plexus, then you choose an instrumental And it has to be instrumental because you don't want words again
Words.
coming into your thing. Whether you're doing transcendental meditation, whether you're being guided into a meditation, you want instrumental music. So if it's like, as I said, solar plexus, then use music that will have a greater resonance with percussion. It has the
Warrior dances, like I did the
yeah,
same,
yeah.
like
Because
the
this is
tribal
your
warrior
fire.
dances.
This is your
Yes,
fire,
yes,
and
yes.
the percussion gives you that fire. If it is your inner child, if it is the sacral chakra, then it's a very soft, gentle, almost like the music is embracing you. The music has to be, uh, should allow you to weep if you need to weep. Similarly with the heart, if you're doing a meditation that is light and joyous, during the lockdown, when I was the Kamwali Bai, I would just put on my music, and every day it would be something different. I would just switch on Spotify and decide, oh, today it's the Beatles, today
Yeah,
it is Indian Bollywood of the
yeah.
olden times, today
Mm.
it is classical music, and I want to hear Beethoven and Bach, anything that my inner being would tell me for that day. I was working. I was doing the dusting and the sweeping and the swabbing and the cleaning, but I was in meditation because that is what I believe meditation is. I don't believe meditation is sitting for half an hour in the day like this with your eyes
True,
closed.
very true, very true.
Every moment and every activity is, if you are in the now, if you are with that activity, like Patanjali said, you can meditate on one leaf, and that one leaf will take you deep within, and you're meditating on the world. But you have to be that leaf, not meditate on that leaf. You have to be that leaf. And that is what it is for me. Any kind of music is meditation. There is one kind of music I personally find very, very um, disturbing to my meditative state. Things like heavy metal, you know, I don't know what that music is called, where they have garbage bins that they bang. And I'm like, doesn't resonate with my energy. But I am absolutely certain that there might be some youngsters of today who resonate with that music and who use that, to touch their inner core. Because that
Because
is
at that
what a meditation is, and that is what music helps us to do. It touches our inner core. But for me, music of Beethoven, Bach, Tchaikovsky, Chopin, Mozart, then also, I love the sarangi, I love the flute, I love the electric guitar, I love tabla, I love all kinds of percussion. Um, for me, those just lead into such a gentle state, and I personally like to have the music like the one you've created for me for my meditations, and that's so beautiful. I like my music to be gentle, to be almost as though the music becomes a cradle and carries you to where you want to go. The music doesn't take you where the music wants you, where the music is directing. The music just says, sleep on me. And you tell me where to flow, and I'll flow there. I love that kind of music. Yeah.
and also yes, this is all about music. And also another aspect is the musician behind the music. Because if the musician has no understanding or sensitivity or any kind of yes understanding, then even a best of musician probably will not do the job or will not.
It's interesting because I think any artist, any musician, any dancer, any poet, any writer who connects to their inner being
mm,
becomes the most creative inspiration. The artist, the performer who is completely disconnected from who they are inside, who is all about this and not about this. I think that energy comes through and cannot inspire people.
mm. Then it becomes a channeling for them also. It's a musical channeling.
Yes, yes,
It's a
absolutely.
flow. I have seen myself in so many occasions where I'm doing a commercial corporate show, and I feel, but the zone is different.
Yeah,
But the zone is different because I am in a different zone probably. I mean, I can feel that in retrospection. Maybe at that time I was too busy in other things too, but I could feel so many places like I would go and play. But if I'm connected and that alignment is there and then the vertex is there, the flow, and I have changed my music so many times spontaneously, much to the annoyance of my bandmates. My bandmates, why did you do that? It was not planned. We didn't rehearse that, but you are going in that. But I said no. It felt right for me to do
yes,
this thing.
yes.
It's a very small thing, but I can also say when I was in Iran some years ago, and we were playing at a big, it was a big event, and we were guests of a very famous pop singer of Iran who had millions, thousands of followers there, and people were cheering him and all that. But when our chance came, our band, and he had to sing with us, so the way we planned to start the song, I had to start the song, but my Iranian bandmate was doing something in the beginning, but then he said, "Okay, now you start the song properly." I had to start the song in a very different way, and we don't understand. I mean, they don't understand my
Yes,
English or so much, and
yeah,
and there was so much problem, language problem in rehearsals, and so many things were there. But we thought we decided on this, and in front of these thousands of people, in that very what should I say, poignant moment when I'm supposed to like start the song, everybody's looking at me. I took a different turn.
mm,
I took a different turn, guided, inspired, or whatever happened. I played my heart out for a couple of minutes, and everybody started cheering and joined in that energy. And it was unplanned, amazing moment out of nowhere. And this the pop singer who was with us was also, he joined. He could immediately understand what I
yeah,
did, and other my band also understood. But then I slowly guided into the pattern which we decided
yeah,
myself into.
yeah,
So it was like we also have our moments of instant inspirational channel. Like we suddenly become one, like as if the waterfall of inspiration,
yeah.
blessings, energies. And I have seen that happen in weirdest of places and crowdier marketplaces, strange places. Suddenly, when I start playing music, something changes in everywhere, everything, the atmosphere, the people who are. And I same thing do with Indian classical music. When I do Indian classical music, normally the vibes of Indian classical scene. But I do my own interpretation of ragas in the sense that it takes time of the usual normal listeners who are expecting something traditional. Of course,
Mm,
I'm doing traditional, but I infuse some different energy with it.
yeah,
Of course I take the facade or the whole structure of tradition and all that, the bandishes and all that.
yeah,
But I do in a very different way, my own way, guided way, or something like this. And same things like I did Sufi music, then I take that Sufism from that context which was there
yes,
in thousands of
yeah,
years, hundreds of years ago, from the start of Islam. And then because Sufism is a spiritual undercurrent of Islam, which is
Yes.
conveniently forgotten and
Yeah.
brushed away because they
Yeah.
want organization and they want to do power games out of it. They are not interested in the real spiritual thing, most of them. So the Sufi river, like in the desert, it became drier and drier and drier. So when I create Sufi music, then do music out of that context and bring it a contemporary feel to
Mm.
it.
Mm.
That of course the ancient and essence is there, the essence of Sufi masters are there, but the imagery I create or the sound, the painting I make is at the same time, yes, it's ancient, it's connecting to the core, it's very corey, but still it's very contemporary because I want newer generation, newer people to connect to the newer aspects of this soul sound
Yeah.
thing, not the old. Same thing with mantras. The mantras, they carry so much in them, if you see in that context,
Yeah.
but it they need not be chanted in a holy way, like
Yeah.
okay, bells and then the
Yeah.
artis and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The whole thing that goes the behind around the real core things. We
Yeah.
are so clever in cutting the
We like
roots
to
away,
embellish.
embellish, and we like to give bouquets.
Yeah.
We like to give bouquets where cut flowers from the stem and we
Yeah.
make nice bouquets. So, but the real flower is in the soil. The
Yeah.
real flower is in the where it is there.
Yeah.
So sorry I spoke so much, but
No, that is needed for people to hear.
yeah. So whenever I meet people like you, El, and I'm also like, I was just thinking today in the afternoon and about the session that what we can talk and all this. And the three names were coming to me again and again. Three wise women who are in my life. One is you, who who I take so much inspiration from your videos, from your channelings and all that. Another is your sister Sherry, who we don't really meet, but we are connected, and I'm blessed to have that connection because she blesses me so much. Also, Neeta ji, whom I am connected with, and she has helped me in my journey so
Yeah.
much. So these three wise women, I connect, and I mean not in real or all the time
Yeah.
connection in that verbal sense, but the connection. But I'm very happy and grateful. But when I see around the women in general, and also the men in general, now we were talking about so many women empowerment. I see you three women empowerment, living your empowerment, sharing your shine, your resonance, your radiation, your vibration in your own ways, all in your own ways. So why can't I find more people, more women in my surroundings, more women whom maybe I can take out for a Valentine date also, or can
Maybe
generally,
because you are looking for a certain type where maybe you are defining empowered women from a certain
aha,
perspective. But,
okay,
um, you know, I'm going to give you the example of my sister-in-law, my husband's sister. I would not call her a typical traditional definition of spiritual, but I have never seen someone who is so dedicated to anything she does. There is a drive in her, there is a fire and a passion in her. She is compassionate, she is generous, she is dedicated to any task. She will not think twice about helping people, whether it is family or her friends. For me, that is spirituality. She may not know anything about crystals and meditation and ye and woo and nothing. But in her, I see an empowered woman. A woman who knows her core strength and is happy to share her core strength with anyone. So, don't look for empowered women of a certain kind. The maid who comes to work in my home, such an empowered woman. She has 2 sons, one who is totally deaf. Both are at home. Her son, because he's deaf, has lost his job during COVID. Husband is very sick, so he can't work. Single-handedly, this lady is running her home. She's out from morning till I don't know what time at night. Then she goes home and does her husband's business because her husband is a cobbler. Yeah, now for me, that's your empowered woman. That's your spiritually empowered woman. Again, she does not really visit temples or, mandirs or does puja or nothing. But is that really necessary in life? When you know your core strength and you are happy to be that core strength for those around you, then you're an empowered woman. And if you look at women from that angle, Amano, I can guarantee you, you will not find only 3. You will find hundreds upon thousands of women who are out there inspiring us by what they do. Because truly, the woman is empowered, and more and more and more women, I am joyous to say, are empowered today. The Shakti energy is very strong in our world.
Definitely.
And my cosmic overlord Jadefire has said that in the years to come, from the years that have gone just recently and in the years to come, we are going to see more and more women leading in every facet of life, whether it will be health, education, finance, economics, politics, religion, spirituality, everything. It will be the woman, the feminine force, the Shakti force that's going to take her rightful place in the foreground. And Shiva, who knows that without Shakti there is no Shiva energy. Shiva is going to stand cheek by jowl with Shakti to say, go on, you tell me what you want me to do. You create, you visualize, you give me direction, and Shiva will take you there. And in our world, Amano, I am absolutely convinced that this moment of shift has already come.
This brings me to another important aspect of the same, another side of the coin, let's say, the men's empowerment. So how men keep pace with this? How men, or I mean, I'm not able to maybe form a question properly, but
no,
okay,
I completely get you. And in this, I'm a little bit saddened. You see, over centuries, over millennia, the male energy has been conditioned to believe that it is the primary energy, that it is the superior energy, and the Shakti energy, the feminine force, has in her mightiness, like almost a mother looking at the young one and saying, go on, you believe what you want to believe.
Like you said, elephant.
Mom will play this game with you. Okay? But now the shift, as I said, has come. Shakti has awakened, and now Shakti will not be pushed down. Shakti will not be suppressed. deep intrinsically, because all of us feel energy. It doesn't take an Ellaeenah to feel energy. Everyone feels energy. Ellaeenah just uses the energy she feels in her own different way. So men deep within them are realizing the Shakti force is coming in. They are beginning to get threatened because they are not those men, not all. I have seen some beautiful men, absolutely amazing men. My husband is an amazing example of that, who are seeing the shift and who are joyous about the shift because they recognize that this is what the truth is. But those men who are not in connect with their own inner beings are getting very threatened. And Amano, out of that threat is coming violence against women, is coming rape, is coming attack, verbal attack, physical attack, emotional attack. Man is trying very hard to put the woman down where he thinks she belongs. He is so threatened, and in his threat, he is getting angry. And the anger is coming out violently. But Shakti is now so strong, to say, rape me, molest me, kill me, imprison me. Shakti now does not depend on one face and one woman. How will you put down the Shakti energy? You will kill, let us say, thousands of women. You will rape hundreds of them. You will verbally abuse thousands, but you will still not put down the feminine force. Every woman who is battered, Shakti becomes stronger. The day man knows that in fact every time I'm battering a woman, the Shakti force in this world is getting stronger and stronger. Man will acquiesce, touch his inner core and realize that I am not inferior. It's just that there is no superior. I am Shiva and she is Shakti. And Shiva and Shakti don't reside only in man and woman body. In me, there is Shakti and Shiva. In you, there is Shakti and Shiva. So who are we fighting against? We are fighting against ourselves. We have to move away from this concept of I am a woman, you are a man. We have to get into the awareness that I am Shakti and Shiva, you are Shakti and Shiva. When we do that, violence and attack will come to an end very naturally.
Beautiful. True. Very true. Very, very, very. I totally resonate. And yes, it will take a moment for me to just absorb what you just said. It's so true, so very true to the core. And Shiva without Shakti is like Shav. It's like a dead body.
Yes.
It's a dead body. Only Shakti, when awakens as Kundalini into the Shiva, let's say symbolically, the spiritual awakening happens with Shakti itself. But Shiva gives a direction because the masculine's purpose is that to give the direction to structural.
And this Shiva and Shakti, people have to know, is the one cosmic energy. But you and I live in a world of duality.
Yes.
Because we live in a world of duality, this cosmic energy to facilitate our existence, because there is duality in our world, we as souls have chosen this path of evolution, right? It's not by some random chance that we've chosen this path of evolution. The cosmic energy to say, hey, okay, world of duality, let me become two.
Yes.
It's one. I'm just becoming two. One is Shakti, one is Shiva. One gives, one receives, one does, one creates.
Yes.
Put them back again, and it's the cosmic energy. One cosmic energy. Exactly like on the face of it, it seems that you and I are different. But in the final analysis, there is no Amano, there is no Ellaeenah. We are one energy. But because we are so caught still in this whole ego thing of my name and my body and my looks and my relationships and my possessions, it's all my. We can't come to the confluence of these two beautiful rivers, sacred
Left,
rivers.
yes. Left and right, two hands as if the both left and right
And when
hands
the
are fighting
Kundalini rises, it rises like this. There are
like
two
this.
aspects that go,
Goes.
and there's the
And
left brain, there's the right brain. In every aspect of it, there is duality. But do we have two brains? No, we have one brain. It just looks like two brains because they're two different lobes. That's it. It's one
and
brain.
it's only because of duality and the polarity that the electricity flows, the light flows, the world flows, everything flows. And like you said, the
Exactly.
Kundalini is like DNA is also like this.
Then,
The DNA is also like
exactly.
this.
Yeah.
But when they meet together, they become a namaste, a
Yes.
union.
Yes. Yeah.
So beautiful. Great, El. We can talk on and on like this. And like we decided, we can end this with a short
Yes.
guided meditation. But first, please say how this guided meditation works and what's the best way to like kind of do it. What is
So
the
I am
mental?
going to use, because I'm talking to you, I want to use the power of sound.
Okay. Ah, play something.
And I'm going to allow Jadefire to take on this part of the meditation and allow him to chant the Om through my mouth. And the Om we will chant through the chakras.
Mhm.
So it's going to be very short. 3 Oms in the root, 3 Oms in the sacral, 3 Oms in the solar, 3 Oms in the heart, 3 Oms in the throat, 3 Oms in the third eye, 3 Oms in the crown. So I won't even say now we are moving from this chakra to this chakra, the Om will change. And with the power of the sound, with the resonance of the Om, the cosmic energies not only enter our systems, but become one. The Shiva and Shakti allow each other to live in harmony, in love, in peace, working as one energy.
Beautiful.
And I'd love you to accompany me with your music.
Thank you so much.
So we start with the root chakra. Om. And now together as one energy. Namaste.
Thank you so much, El. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are. And thank you for inviting me. And thank you, all of you, for being here. And
Yes.
thank you, all of you, for being who you are.
Thank God bless you, El. Thank you so much.
Blessings to all.